Hey everyone, welcome back to Yoga with Brittany. My name is Brittany and today we are doing a dancer flow. So if you know that you're tighter in the back body, go ahead and put some blocks at the top of your mat. A strap can also be used in this practice, and if you don't have a strap, you can use a t-shirt, a towel, a dog leash, and I will show you how to use your dancer pose with or without those props. If you don't have any of those props, no worries. I'll show you how to modify with just your body. So whenever you're ready, I will meet you on your mat. So today we're actually going to start out lying on your stomach. So whenever you're ready, just go ahead and make your way there, stacking one palm over the other. It doesn't really matter which. And then resting your forehead or even just your chin on top of your palms and taking a moment just to breathe and start to settle into your body. I'd like to invite you to set an intention for your practice as always, just by asking yourself what you feel like you need today. And it doesn't always have to make sense, to your mind. Your body knows what you need. It can be security, it can be love, safety. Maybe you just need to be and let go of things that are not within your control by putting down what's not yours to carry. Start to bring the heels up towards the sky and just windshield wiper your feet left and right. Take it slow. Decompressing the parasympathetic nervous system. Letting your body know that you are here, you are safe, you are loved, you are so strong. Just by showing up for yourself over this next couple of minutes, you can send yourself a little bit of gratitude. We'll take 2 deep breaths into the belly. So breathe in, feel your belly expand under you. Open mouth, sigh it out. We'll do that one more time. Breathe in. Let it go. And then we'll start to stack your forearms underneath your shoulders, coming into a Sphinx pose. So spread your fingers out long, elbows directly under the shoulders, and then lift through the chin, spread through the collarbones. If this is a lot on your low back starting off, you can widen the legs a tad. So take your feet about a little bit like mat width distance, and that should decompress the spine a little bit, take some pressure off of the low back. And also pressing a little bit into the pubic bone, squeezing the glutes. That'll help release the back. So breathe in here, take your chin up. Exhale. One more inhale. And then slowly start to press your way back into a child's pose. So bring your toes together. Knees can stay out as wide as the mat. Let your stomach and your head kind of come in between your legs here. Guess your head won't really come in between your legs, but you know where we're headed. Child's pose. If this is a lot, you can bring the knees together under you and let your body drape over the legs. Inhale here. Let it go. And then on the next inhale, we're going to round it forward to a cat back tabletop position. So breathe in. And then on the exhale, start to drop the belly, taking a cow shape and dropping the hips back into child's pose. Inhale, round it forward, cat. Exhale, rolls it back, cow back to child's pose. Inhale, round it forward. Exhale, roll it back, cow back to child's pose. Get really dramatic with these movements. One more, round it forward, cat back. Exhale, cow shape to a child's pose. Stay here for a moment. Inhale. Breathe out. And then roll it forward to table. Good work. Take this right foot behind you, planting the ball of the right foot and pressing back into that right heel. Inhale. Exhale. If the calves are really tight, you can rock in and out. It's a gentle way to stretch this calf, or you can stay pressing back. And then we're going to start to kickstand this left foot out to the left. Toes can stay tucked or untucked. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. And then start to open up the right side of this body. So right arm's going to reach towards the ceiling. Tuck the hips. So pull the tail underneath you. And then start flexing through this right foot. We'll start to engage this outer right hip, lifting the right foot off the mat. Inhale. And then use your glute to pull that right heel into your glute, grabbing outside of the right ankle. Inhale here. Exhale. As you inhale, start to kick into that right hand. Breathe in. Core is tight, core is engaged. And then exhale, let it land tabletop. Take a cow-cat to reset the spine. Exhale, cat pose. And then we'll take it to the other side. Step that left foot back, planting the ball of the left foot. Press back into that left heel. And again, you can rock or you can stay pressing back, your choice. And then we'll start to take to the right side. So kick your right foot out, kickstand. Peel the left arm up across the body towards the ceiling. Start to tuck the pelvis. So rather than poking that booty out, pull it all in. Engage the core, flexing through the left foot, and then begin to lift. If this is enough for you, you're always welcome to stay here or even stay with the foot on the mat. You decide. If you'd like to take it further, begin to kick that left heel back to the left glute. Create a little bit of a back bend and then reach for the outer left ankle. Breathe in. Exhale, engage the core to help with your balance, and then start to kick into that left hand, opening up through that left chest, creating that back bend here. And then let it land tabletop. Drop your belly, lift your chin, lift your gaze, and exhale, press it all away. Begin to tuck the toes. Roll the hips up and back and find your first down dog of this practice. Pedal it through. So put your weight in your left leg as that right heel pops up off the mat. Press back into that left hip. Feel the stretch in that left side. And then switch it out. Right heel comes down. Weight pops into that right hip as the left heel comes up. And switch left side. And switch right side. Good work. Come back to a standard down dog, neutral down dog, if that's what you want to call it. And then press your belly towards your thighs. If both of your heels come to the mat, lift all 10 toes. That'll deepen the stretch in the back of the legs and really straighten into those legs. If this is a lot, take whatever bend you need here. Keep the heels popped and just work on pressing your chest towards your thighs. You decide. Inhale comes high to the toes. We're going to straight-legged walk to the top of your mat, keeping the hips lifted as high as possible for as long as possible. We'll meet in a fold at the top of your mat, grabbing opposite elbows, ragdoll, let the head and neck hang heavy. If you've taken any of my classes so far, you know that I love to start your flow with the ragdoll. Just open up in the back body. See if you can find length in the side body here as your belly button draws closer to the thighs. Head and neck should be heavy here, so if you find yourself looking at your mat, let it drop. Sway side to side if that feels good. Just notice how it feels to be alive in your body today. Cultivate some energy. And then release your grip. Start slowly rolling up your spine. Mountain pose. So when you get to the top, just roll the shoulders up and back. So shoulders will be down the back. Palms will open towards the front of the room. Tuck the pelvis. Crown of head extends long. Back of the neck is nice and long. You're drawing up some energy from the soles of your feet here. So if you want a soft bend in the knees, you can take a soft bend in the knees. Stand in your power right here. Breathe in and let it go. Bend into the knees. Sweep the arms up high. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale finds a halfway lift. Hands can come to shins or to thighs. And then exhale, plants the hands, step the left foot back. Shimmy that right foot forward so that the right knee and right ankle are in line. And then square off the hips by pulling that right hip crease back. left hip crease will bump forward. So it might feel like they're wonky, but that's how we're going to square off the hips here. Drop the left knee, untuck the toes. Engage the inner thighs by drawing them together as if you could bunch this mat up underneath you, and then sweep the arms up. Drop the hips towards that right heel. Anjaneyasana. Get heavy in those hips. Squeeze the biceps in by the ears. Maybe begin to take your gaze up as your hips drop towards the mat. That left hip especially is getting really heavy. Inhale, reach up, reach back. And then exhale, half split. Just shift the hips back. Stay lifted. So rather than sitting back on that left heel, stay lifted in the hips. Draw the right toes towards your face. Now bump that right hip back even more. So almost popping the left hip out to the left. See how that changes your stretch. Inhale. Exhale, low lunge. So I like to stay here on my finger pads. This is where your blocks would come in handy if the ground is extra far away from you. You decide. Get heavy in the hips. And then shift it back, half split. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, half split. This time we'll come forward and then plant into that left hand. Peel the right arm high, twisted lunge. Begin to tuck the left toes. Pick up the left knee. Draw those inner thighs together, and then we're going to come into a twisted crescent here. So this right arm will reach up and back. Left arm shoots forward. Pull the right hip crease back like a scissoring motion in the legs. So engage the core. Twist comes from the belly. Drop the right hand. Left arm comes up and back. Exalted crescent. Inhale. And then cartwheel the hands down to frame this right foot. And then start to straighten into that right leg. Good. Modified pyramid. So we're on the ball of this left foot. Keep that left heel lifted. If you are really open in the back body and you can flatten that foot, do so. You can even change your stance here. You decide. Pull the right hip crease back. Bump the heart over those right toes and fold a little deeper. Blocks can be used here as well. Good. Begin to bend into this right knee. And then sweep the arms on up, warrior two. So this left foot is going to be parallel with the back edge of your mat. And as always, adjust your stance whenever you feel like you need to. Tuck the pelvis under you rather than letting the hips pop out. Tuck the pelvis. Woo! Sorry, there's a bug. Deep bend into this right knee. Inhale to reach, reach, reach forward. Flip the front palm. And as you begin to reverse this warrior, begin to straighten into that right leg. So it'll be a reverse triangle. Inhale. And then drop that right hand down either to a block or to the mat. Peel the left arm up. Triangle pose. One more inhale. Open up through the chest. Reach that left arm back. And then shut this left hand like a book. Step that right foot back to meet the left. Come to a high plank. So everything is nice and tight, squeezing the front body to the back body, pressing the mat away. The knuckles probably be turning white here because you're really gripping. And then shoot through those heels. Inhale, you option to come to your knees anytime you would like. On the exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, snakes forward. I'm coming to an up dog here, so my knees, thighs, and hips are all lifted. If this is too much on your low back, drop the knees, spread the legs a little bit wider, come into a high cobra. And then bend into the knees, table, tuck the toes, roll it up, down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, left leg high. And then exhale, steps it in between the hands, followed by the right. Forward fold. Good work. Inhale, finds a half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees. Inhale, sweeps the arms up high. Exhale, back into it. Lead with the chest. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, plants the hands. Right foot back this time. So always checking in with that alignment first. Knee to ankle are stacked. Right hip gets heavy. And then drop that right knee. Untuck the toes. Sweep the arms up. Anjaneyasana. If you find yourself a little wobbly here, that's where that squeeze of the inner thighs together and engaging the core will help with your balance. Begin to draw the biceps together and then back. Take a slight back bend as you drop those hips towards that left heel. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, shift it back. Half split. Draw those left toes towards your face. Take that left hand to your left hip crease and pull that left hip crease back. That'll square off the hips and change the stretch. Inhale comes forward to a low lunge. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, shift it back. If the ground is far away, again, use your blocks for all of this. Inhale, shift it forward. And exhale, bring it back. Good work. Walk the hands forward. Plant into the right hand. Sweep the left arm high. Twisted low lunge. And begin to tuck the right toes. Pick up the right knee. Squeeze those thighs together as you drop this left arm behind you. Woo. Right arm comes forward. And then drop the left arm. Right arm up and back. Exalted crescent. So you're lifted on that back leg. Pick up that right knee. It's really strong in the legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good work. Start to cartwheel the hands down to frame this left foot, and then extend into that left leg for this modified pyramid. So modified, we're staying lifted on that right heel. Start to bump that left hip back as you drop your chest over that left thigh. Good work. Breathe in. Breathe out. Get a little deeper. Good. And then begin to bend into that left knee. Pivot on the back foot. Rise to warrior two. Inhale to reach forward. Flip the front palm, and as you take this left arm up and over, start to extend into that left leg. Reverse with the triangle legs. Inhale, find length in the left side body, and then start to reach forward, bump the hips back, and then drop that left hand down. Right arm peels high, triangle pose. Pull the hips under you rather than letting them poke out. And again, block can be used here under this left hand. Inhale. And then close that right hand like a book. Bend into the left foot rather. Step that left foot back to meet the right. High plank. Good work. Grip into the mat. Inhale, shifts the body forward. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale to that upward facing dog or cobra. Breathe in. Lift your chin, lift your gaze. We're going to stay right here. So drop the shoulders away from the ears. And then rock side to side. Take a hip dip. So dancer's pose, is a lot of back bending. It's a lot of opening in the front body, a lot of opening in the hips. So that's what we're warming up right now, if you can't tell. Breathe in. Exhale, come back to that upward facing dog. Untuck the toes. Find a bit of a back bend as you take your gaze up, and then roll through the tabletop. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Down dog. Breathe in. Let it go. Inhale comes high to the toes. Bend your knees. Walk or hop to the top of your mat. And then inhale finds a half lift. Crown of head extends long. Exhale, fold. Good work. So we're going to hang out here in this nice deep forward fold, lengthening the hamstrings in the back of the body. So option to stay right like this. Blocks can be used here if the ground is extra far away. Also, option to take your peace sign fingers around your big toes. Okay, listen up here, because this one's good to decompress the spine if you have the openness in the back body. So if you already know this is not accessible, you stop and stay here. If you've got the openness in the back body, hook your big toes. I want you to cow tilt your pelvis to posterior tilt, reach the crown of your head long, soft bend in the knees, and then use the strength of your arms to pull your body down as you maintain that length in the side body. Good, half lift. And do it again. Find that length, find that cow tilt. Use your arms to pull your upper body down. Good work. Let the head and neck be heavy. Roll those hips up towards the ceiling. And then soft bend in the knees. Come off of your fingers and roll up your spine. Head and neck are the last to come up. And then when you get there, because you were just upside down, take some time to let everything kind of come back to normal. Roll through the shoulders. Get any sort of wiggles out that you need to. We're going to head into our balancing postures now. So we'll find the top of our mat, and then I want you to take your feet. We'll start off with about hips width distance. I want you to lift all 10 toes, spread them, and then root them back into your mat. That'll give you a little bit more surface area to work with. Now start to shift your weight into this left leg. Slide the right foot in to meet the left and create that midline. So once you're here, take your hands to heart center and then start to kick up this right heel towards that right glute. So using the muscles in that glute and that right leg to pull it in first. Now reach that right arm up and back. So let that right shoulder have an external rotation opening to the back of the room. Grab the inside of that right ankle. Keep the knees drawing towards the midline and then tuck the pelvis. Draw the core in. Shoot the left arm high. Now from here, this is where you have the option to stay. If you know that you need a strap for this posture, grab your strap, loop it around this right foot, and then put it on, almost like a backpack if you need to, or grab where it's accessible. Keep those knees drawing towards the midline. And then if you're ready to take this further, we're going to start kicking into that right foot. Kick it up and back. Keep drawing that right knee to midline. And as you kick, you'll find the upper body finds a little bit of a tilt. We're reaching for like a teardrop shape with the body. So reaching up, creating that back bend, using the glutes to kick into that right hand, opening up the right shoulder, right toes reaching towards the ceiling. You've got it. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then soft bend in the left leg. We're going to step this back into a crescent lunge with control. Good work. Adjust where you need to adjust. That's a big posture there, so take your time. Pull the left hip crease back, square off the hips. Arms, biceps are in by the ears. Take your gaze up, take it back, find a bit of a back bend. Start to straighten into that left leg, tee out the arms, and then start to fold. Take that modified pyramid once more. When the hands need to come down, they can come down. Bump the left hip back, right hip forward. And then find your depth of this pose here. If you need to widen your stance to give yourself more of a balance, you can. Get a little deeper and then soft bend into the left knee as you walk your body, your hands to the right long edge of your mat in a forward fold. And I'm going to face you here. So we're going to be in a wide-legged forward fold facing the right long edge of your mat. I want you to bump your heels out, toes in, find a half lift, and then exhale, fold. Do that again. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. If you'd like to take your hands to the outsides of your ankles and draw yourself a little bit deeper here, you can do so. Roll the hips up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the side body will help you get a little bit deeper. Good work. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale finds a halfway lift, and then walk your body to the left side to face all your toes towards the front edge of your mat. Step your right foot up to meet your left. There we go. Now we're in a forward fold. I was doing everything reverse, so I was making sure I wasn't mixing you up. All right, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale comes all the way up. Watch your fingers as they touch. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center, mountain pose. So just take a moment right here. Get back to your breath. Keep the hips tucked under you. Shoulders down the back. Crown of your head is reaching up. Neck is long. Standing in your power. Getting back to that intention that you set. Back to your breath. And reminding your body that you are good. You've got this. You're so strong. Your body's open. It's ready to be moved. One more exhale. And then we'll take a look down at our feet. Make sure you're happy with how you're standing. Again, lift all 10 toes, spread them, and then root them back into your mat. Get nice and strong here in your mountain pose. Palms can be down and open if you would like, or keep the hands gathered here at your heart center because we will meet here anyway. And then when you're ready, start shifting your way over to this right leg. Slide the left foot in to meet the right. Just distributing the weight all the way to the right, but stay lifted out of that right hip rather than letting it poke out to the right. So stay lifted. Start to kick this left heel into the left glute. All leg muscle there, rather than reaching back and yanking in, and use that strength that you cultivated in the back body. Now begin to open this left arm up and to the left side of the room. So the left shoulder will have that external rotation. Grab the inside of the left ankle and then draw the knees together. Again, if you need your strap, go ahead and hook it around your foot now and find whatever variation of the strap will allow you to keep that shoulder open and keep the leg. Now remember, you have the option to stay right like this. You're going to flex into that left foot, keep the knees drawing towards the midline, and then shoot that right arm high. This right here is your posture. You can stay here. If you would like to find a little bit more depth, begin to kick using the strength in the back body, that left heel up and back. And as you kick, you'll tilt slightly forward. Now remember that teardrop or raindrop shape. So we're reaching up with the foot, reaching up with the right arm. Breathe in. Stay for the exhale. Kick, kick, kick. Reach, reach, reach. And then with control, we'll step it back into that crescent lunge. Good work. Adjust your stance. Bump that right hip back. Squeeze the biceps up and in. And then take your gaze up, a little bit of a back bend. And then start to extend into that right leg and tee out the arms. Core is up and in and engaged. Squeezing the inner thighs together will help you maintain your balance as you fold over this right leg. Hands can come to the mat whenever you need. Bump the right hip back. Modified pyramid. Again, we're going to stay lifted to give yourself more space in the back body. Or if you know that you're open, let that left heel come down. Take a full pyramid. It's up to you. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then begin to walk your hands to the left long edge of the mat. And I'm going to give you a couple options here. This twist can be a little bit intense. I want you to take a wide stance. And again, bump the heels out just a tad. And we're going to, first of all, just kind of wiggle through the hips here. So you can stay like in this half lift position as you do a little bit of side to side. You can even take ragdoll arms and swing. So find what feels good, a little bit like a pendulum. Just warming up into the hips, letting the back decompress, opening through the hamstrings, and then we will find stillness. All right, so this is the part where you are going to, again, decide how deep you would like to go. We're going to take this right arm underneath the left and grab the outside of the left calf or ankle if it's accessible. If you need to come up a little bit higher, you can grab the thigh. You won't be able to stretch as deeply, but I do want you to avoid the knee. And then with the left arm, you're going to grab the outside of the right calf. Okay, now I'm going to start to bump my hips to the left and then pull my body underneath this left arm. Whew. For a wide-legged, twisted fold. You'll feel that stretch in probably the upper thoracic. I feel it a lot in my right leg, to be honest. Keep the hips rolling up. And then return back to that middle position and then switch out your arms. So your left arm is going to be under, right arm's going to be on top. And then you're going to pull your body up underneath that right arm. Not the prettiest, especially if you don't do it very often. It looks and it feels weird, but it probably feels pretty good in the back body. Slowly release. Come back to that middle position. Find a half lift. And forward fold just into the middle one last time. Head and neck are heavy. Hips are rolling towards the ceiling. Then we'll find a half lift and walk your hands to frame this right foot. Toes face the front edge of your mat. And then right foot will actually step back to meet the left high plank. Oh, I'm sorry, down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then inhale. I want you to roll it forward like we did at the beginning of class into a cat back plank. Okay, so pressing everything away, pressing the front body to the back body, and then begin to bend into the knees, and then roll the hips up and back to down dog. So we're taking some spinal rolls here, make it very wave-like. So inhale, roll it forward, cat back, exhale, roll it back, down dog. One more time. Inhale, roll it forward. Exhale, roll it back. Good work. Inhale comes into like a hover cat. So taking a cat pose like we did at the beginning of class, doming through the shoulders, knees are hovering. Breathe in, and then slowly descend for 3, 2, and 1. Both knees drop. You can keep your toes tucked if you like the foot stretch. Walk your upper body up and back. If this is a lot on the back of your feet, feel free to untuck the toes. You decide. I like the stretch in my feet, so I'm going to stay right like this. Breathe in and breathe out. We were upside down a lot throughout that flow, so just let everything kind of return back to normal. Feel the body decompress. Good. And then in no fancy way, we are going to make your way to your back. So plant your feet, scoot your hips up to your heels, and slowly make your way down. If you'd like more of a core challenge, you can descend a lot slower than that. If you need to feel like you need to flop, then flop. It's all good. You choose. Take your arms out to a T. And then cross that right leg over the left. So eagle wrap your legs if you are able to. It can be wrapped twice. It can be wrapped once. It can even just be crossed at the ankle and the thigh. Breathe in. And then with control, slowly lower those legs to the left. So right leg is wrapped on top of the left. And then the knees fall to the left. Gaze will fall to the right unless you have a giant clip in your hair. Then you just let it be where it's going to be. Slowly bring it up to middle, and then we'll counter twist to the right. Woo. And then return back to center. Unwind the legs. Take a cow cat here just to kind of neutralize the back, and then switch it out. Left leg crosses over the right. Eagle wrap once or twice. Breathe in, and then let the knees fall on the exhale to the right. Gaze will fall off to the left. Try to keep that left shoulder rooted. If it starts to peel up, it's a sign that you've gone too far, and that's where a block can come in handy underneath the legs, either side. Slowly bring it back to middle. Counter twist to the left. Whew. And then come back to center, unwind the legs. We'll take 2 rounds of bridge before we head into our final resting pose. Don't skip this. Don't you dare. If you have a block and you would like to take supported bridge, go ahead and grab your block now. Take your heels to where they are grazable with your fingers, but not grabbable, if that makes sense. All right, so just like we drew everything to the midline whenever you were doing your dancer's pose, we want to do that again. So we can keep the knees hips width distance, but whenever we lift, I want you to keep them about here. I don't want them to splay out to the side, okay? So start to press your palms, press your elbows and forearms into the mat, spike through the heels, lift the hips. If you have your block and you want to take supported, slide it underneath the sacrum. Press the hips up and then keep those legs drawing towards the midline. Feel that compression in the throat. Breathe in. And then slowly release. If you are in supported bridge, you can stay right there. If not, we're going to take one more round. If wheel is in your practice, option to take wheel whenever you like. Inhale. Exhale. And then on the next inhale, begin to spike through the hands, spike through the heels, lift the hips. Lift, lift, lift. That little chokiness in the throat is okay. It's good for your thyroid, actually. Keep those thighs drawing together like you have a apple or a block in between the thighs. You can even place your block there. Probably could have said that before here, though. Lift, lift, lift. Stay for the exhale. Spike a little bit more into those heels. You got it. And then lower for 3, 2, 1. Good work. Take the feet a little bit wider than hips width distance and just windshield wiper the legs. Now I want to open up my arms right here. So if that feels good to you, do so. I like to just feel completely supported. Begin to draw both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze, nose to your knees. Get as small as you possibly can. And then on the exhale, release everything into your corpse pose, your shavasana. This is where you will conclude your practice. I'd like to invite you to stay here as long as you can and just soak up all the work that you just did. Feel all of that good vibration within you. Allow it to extend beyond you. Feel that power that you created all by yourself. If you enjoyed this class, please like, subscribe, follow. Keep your eyes out for more. I appreciate you so much for being here. Please go about your day with peace, love, and light. Namaste.